Welcome back to Learn Python for Economic Computation. Today we're going to work on removing list elements, and there's a few different ways to remove list elements. We're going to be looking at the pop, remove, and append methods. So pop, remove, and delete, and we'll see exactly what all that does. Okay. So let's start out by creating some new lists. These lists are actually different than last time. We're going to have lists of words. Okay. We have a list 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to print the lists as they were before, one index at a time. Okay, so we're going to go for I in range list 1, and why don't we measure the length of this again? Let's call this k equals length list 1. So we'll make it in I range of k. Now we can print list 1 I tab list 2 I Okay, now if we print that, let's make sure we save this as the correct name. Oh, can't see that. Delete list elements. Save as delete list elements. .py. Okay. Now if we run that, you're going to see here we print out red nose, blue ice, orange fire, and so forth. Okay. Now we can delete the element in the list. Okay. Oh, this should be list 2. So I'm going to delete element 0 of list 1 and element 5 of list 2. It's going to realign the lists. So I'll print a blank line. Let's redefine k. Because if we don't, actually, let's see what happens if we don't redefine k first, and you'll see. K. Print list 1 I. And notice it says out of range. It printed, but it got to the edge, and we had this error because k is 6. We defined it as a length of list 1 when list 1 was 6. So let's redefine this k equals length list 1 again, run it, and this time we don't get the error. Okay. All straightforward. Something worth noting is this backslash t that we used. It creates this nice tab that aligns the words here. If the words were significantly longer, say a few characters longer, the alignment might not quite work, but for this case the use of tab to align does work. Okay. So let's build, there's a few other examples in this chapter. They all follow the same sort of pattern. Okay. And so we're going to have different ways of removing list elements. One way is to use delete, D-E-L. The next way, I'm just going to comment those out, it would be to use remove. List1.remove red because that was the 0th element. List 2.remove dog. Okay, if I run it again, we're going to get the same outcome. You end up with a golden mouse. Okay. Now, what if we wanted to save these values? Okay. Well, I could say list1. Let's call this list1 residual. List1 res equals red. List2 res equals dog. And then I could just name these that. List1 res. List2 res. Okay. And then at the end we'll print the residuals. Okay. So now we've identified the objects we deleted. This is kind of a roundabout way of saving the deleted object. Okay. But there is a more convenient way, and one that I actually use more often than I would expect, and it's this .pop. Okay. So this pop method removes whatever list index that you select. Okay. So again, I'm going to comment these out. This time list1 res is going to equal list1.pop and the number 0. List2 res is going to equal list2.pop, and this time it's 5. Okay. Now we run it again, and we end up with the same outcome, but it only took 2 lines of code instead of 4. Okay, so this can be convenient, especially if you need to remove one value in a list at a time, but you need to record what that value is. Then this is especially useful. Okay, next time we're going to continue working with for loops and lists. We have a few more lessons before we finish up this chapter. See you then.